Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to talk about a letter that I tried to write to the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Unfortunately, they limit the characters to 2,500, so I wasn't actually able to send the entire letter. I had to butcher it up a bit. But I want to read the letter in its entirety, and I did post it on my Facebook page. Robert Lagervall, Facebook. You should be able to find me, and I'll friend you. Anyway, but here's the letter. The following is a letter I penned for the President of the United States. I could not send it as a limit incoming email to 2,500 characters. I wanted to publish it in keeping with an open policy. That's one thing I intend to do with this office. Dear Mr. President, I am writing to ask for assistance in what I believe will bring about a drastic change and stop these defiant government officials and make them follow all law. But I cannot act without the support of good government officials, like yourself, sir. I have been challenging the swamp for over 20 years, successfully, and I've found this new office to be solidly based on law. Please review yourself and render your opinion. I would like to work with others on this project. On June 6th, 2017, I swore my oath of office, and I filed it in accordance with law. My name is Robert Lagervall, U.S. Private Attorney General, Federal Version, for the United States of America in and for the state of Montana. I know that's going to cause a flood of questions. And I'll be doing a YouTube video when we get going. This is the first one of that series, by the way. But I am waiting for some new audio equipment. And I have got it, but I can't seem to get it to work. We're working on that still. We'll get there. At any rate, bear with me. I will be working with the United States Department of Justice Civil Rights Division and the Montana State Attorney. The Montana State Government personnel were very pleasant, very professional, and kind. When I left, I was in kind of shock because what I had experienced was so different in the past for the most part. I hope it's a sign of the future. I can hope. Well, that didn't last too long. On Thursday the 7th, I had two filings I had to do. One went well, and that was the one at the Russell Smith Federal Courthouse. From the security to the court clerks. It was great. My first federal filing of an objection and requesting a test to bring the RICO Act to bear against an unnamed attorney and their clients. It was accepted and filed with professional courtesy. People were great. I loved it. Yay, one for the good guys. But tried to file another notice. The Missoula City Municipal Court. Now, the court clerk tried to file a notice of intent to represent another person in a civil rights matter that the municipal court and the city are trying to criminalize. They can't do that by law, folks. What they're doing is illegal. They're refusing to acknowledge federal civil rights. At any rate, that's here and there. It's not in the letter, but okay. Trying to criminalize. Now the clerk, in accordance to law, she date stamped it, took the filing back to the judge, who promptly refused it in violation of law. So the clerk brought it back. I informed her of Title 18, Section 241 and 242. By law, I was required to do that. Now that established a investigation. Okay. All right. So anyway, I then went to the hearing for the matter. Whereas a crime had been committed, I now had full investigative authority and proceeded to gather a video to be used for the purpose of calling a grand jury to review the crime and to document further crimes committed in the courtroom, as well as to demonstrate the emotional instability of the judge. We will keep up the good fight until the swamp has been drained. The judge did lose it a little bit in court, folks. I think she's got a real problem with anybody who stands up for their rights. So, or either that or a real problem with people with disabilities, one or the other. Either way, it's bad, okay? We've either got to re-educate her or get rid of her. At any rate, going on, this is a federal office created by Congress. It gives me all the powers of the U.S. Attorney General, the Montana State Attorney, as well as all prosecutors for district and municipal governments across the country. It gives me all rights and responsibilities of any other attorney. And they're going to be watching me real close. You can count on that. At any rate, I believe in leading by example, so I don't have a problem. In addition to all the rights and authorities of law enforcement in the U.S., that's a pretty big responsibility right there. But I've been in charge of a database and a post armory for a post college. So, federally paid. I never once thought about even playing with one of those weapons. That's a responsibility, a grave responsibility, and I took it very seriously, just as I'm taking everything seriously. I've never violated any of the several oaths of office I have had to take throughout the years. At any rate, folks, going on, my rule book is 500 pages, and that's without all the reference law. It gives the law, and then I have to go actually look up the law. So there's a lot to this, folks, a lot. And now I got to follow all of the federal rules and build a real federal agency, one that really protects the people from rogue criminal segments of government and or private criminal conspirators that fall under the scope of authority as outlined for prosecution. Okay. That's a lot of these corporate criminals and stuff like that that have just gotten off free and scot-free and taken everybody's money. Yeah, I don't think so. The money's going to be gotten back, and those people are going to jail. There's no scot-free crap. Yeah, one of the things I would like to do, and I digress. Back to the letter, sorry. Okay. For the last 200 years, which is when Congress first passed the law establishing this office, the laws have been passed, and over time, others, and our forefathers with foresight placed into federal law more laws, the last just a few years ago, governing this federal office and further strengthening the scope and authority of this office. This office has regulatory authority over all government offices, and all criminal activity is defined within the scope of the authority of this office nationwide. Now, it's not my desire to usurp or act nuts about this. We can't go backwards. We got to go forward. We fix things, fix the oppression. And I know we can do it, but we have to work together, all of us, all of us. The ones that have to be re-educated, take the re-education. Let's all work for the future, folks. Anyway, okay. So it's not my desire to usurp the existing authority. Of course, agency will work hand in hand with other federal and state agencies. It will not replace any other agency that is also tasked with the enforcement of these laws, but assist with the duties and lessen the overburden on current enforcement agencies. This is the checks and balances that are built into our great foundation of law. And this is the stated purpose of the Office of U.S. Private Attorney General. I will not accomplish this on my own, and I welcome leadership advice from the President of the United States, currently President Donald Trump, as well as community leaders, law enforcement leaders, senior judicial members, advice from federal, state, county, and city governments. Although this is an independent authority, it is still required to follow all law and has a fiduciary responsibility to represent the government. We, the people. I love that. Anyway, the authority of this office is inherent within the law that established this office. It would be less than prudent not to establish cooperative relationships with existing government to work toward the goal of protecting the rights of the American people. One more thing. This office was created by an act of Congress and can only be changed by an act of Congress. Gee, I guess those government classes in high school really did pay off. Glad I paid attention. Yeah, I filibustered. I had a lot of fun with it. But anyway, that's here and there. I have a unique skill set to fulfill this office and lead by example. I firmly believe in government, law enforcement, the judiciary, the foundation of law, and order in a civil society. I have lots of experience to bring to the table. Military, law enforcement, both federal and local, business, lots of business and board positions from community organizations. Occupational testing ordered by a state agency showed that I scored across the top on all occupations on the professional side. On 5 of them, I scored off the top of the chart. Those 5 were law, computer sciences, business, and geology and theology. And then I signed it, Robert Lagervall, my phone number, my address. My email is adanow@mail.com. If you would like to email me, if you think you have enough knowledge and enough experience to assist with this project, I'm looking for people in every state. You cannot have a criminal background. You need to be mentally stable. So none of these crackpots, please. In addition, we're gonna try to do something about these people that are running around operating outside of laws or trying to claim a piece. Well, here's what they've done. They've taken a piece of this law and gone crazy with it. Thinking, oh, they can do this and that. No, you don't know you can't. I already did a sovereign citizen video where I pointed out their dumbassness. But anyway, that's here and there. Well, folks, I'm going to keep it real always. I'm going to be an open book. You'll be able to see what I'm doing. You'll be able to hear what I'm doing. And we'll fix this thing together. After all, it's for all of us. And boys and girls, it's for the future of the human race. Good night.